The morning light touched the small wooden house at the edge of the quiet town where Anna lived with her husband and their little baby Ethan. The house was old, but full of warmth. The walls smelled of milk and lavender, and every morning the sound of tiny laughter filled the rooms. That laughter always began when a gray cat named Whiskers jumped onto the blanket near the crib. Whiskers had not always been there. He had appeared one rainy night when the wind howled through the trees. Anna's husband had opened the door and found a small gray cat shivering outside, his fur wet and tangled, his eyes wide with fear. He carried him inside, dried him gently with a towel, and placed him near the fire. And from that night, the cat never left their side. When Ethan was born a few months later, Whiskers seemed to understand that something precious had arrived. He would sit quietly near the cradle, watching over the baby, for hours, sometimes curling his tail around the wooden bars, as if to guard him whenever Ethan cried. Whiskers would jump up lightly, land beside the crib, and start to purr, his deep, rhythmic sound filling the room with peace. The baby would stop crying and smile, as if the cat's voice was magic. Days passed, and their bond grew stronger. When Ethan began to crawl, Whiskers followed him everywhere, across the floor, behind the sofa, under the table. Wherever the baby went, the cat went too. If Ethan reached for a toy, Whiskers gently pushed it closer with his paw. If Ethan stumbled, Whiskers rushed to his side, his ears twitching, his eyes full of concern. Anna often said softly, "You love him more than anything, don't you?" And Whiskers would blink slowly and rub his head against her leg. As months turned into a year, the house began to echo with laughter and small footsteps, and the constant sound of gentle purring. On quiet afternoons, Anna would find Ethan sleeping on the floor, his hand resting on the soft fur of the cat, who lay beside him, both breathing in the same calm rhythm. In those moments, Anna often thought that maybe the cat saw himself not as a pet, but as an older brother, quietly watching over the baby he loved. Then one sunny afternoon, something happened that proved how deep that love truly was. Anna had left the back door slightly open to let in the breeze while she prepared lunch. Ethan was playing near the carpet with his small wooden blocks. Whiskers sat nearby, half asleep, but suddenly his ears moved. He looked up, his body tense. Ethan had started crawling toward the open door, and beyond the door were 3 small steps leading down to the stone path below. Before the baby reached the edge, Whiskers jumped forward, blocking the way, his tail high, his paws wide. Ethan giggled, trying to crawl past him, but each time the cat gently pushed him back with his paw. Finally, Whiskers began to meow, loudly, sharp, and urgent, until Anna came running. When she saw her baby so close to the steps, she froze, then scooped him up, holding him tight. Her heart racing, she turned to Whiskers, tears in her eyes, and whispered, "Thank you, you saved him." After that day, the cat became a quiet hero in the family. Whenever the baby slept, Whiskers slept beside him. Whenever he woke, Whiskers was there. First, when Ethan laughed, the cat tilted his head and purred, as if laughing too. At night, Anna would peek into the room and see the two of them asleep together, the baby's small hand resting on the cat's fur, a picture of perfect peace. Years went by, the seasons changed. Ethan learned to walk, then to run. He grew taller and louder, but Whiskers stayed the same, calm, patient, always near. Sometimes, when Ethan came home from school, tired or sad, jump onto his lap, and the boy would whisper, "You're still here, my best friend," and the cat would close his eyes and purr softly. One evening, when Ethan was around 6, Anna walked into his room and found him asleep in bed, Whiskers lying beside him, his paw resting on the boy's arm, as if protecting him. She stood at the door for a long time, watching the quiet bond that had never broken. She thought about the first day the cat had come in from the rain, how lost and frightened he had been, and how he had found not just shelter, but a family. As the moonlight filled the room, Whiskers opened his eyes, looked once at Ethan, then closed them again, his purring slow and steady. like a lullaby, the same sound that had soothed the baby years ago. It was as if time had stopped, nothing had changed, and nothing ever would, because some kinds of love never fade, and some guardians never need words to say, "I'm here." And so every night, as the wind moved softly outside the small house, the same rhythm could be heard from within, the deep, steady sound of a cat and a boy breathing together in peaceful harmony, reminding anyone who listened that love can live quietly, sometimes in the simplest of hearts and in the softest of paws. Please leave a like on this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to The Gentle Bond for more incredible true stories of love, loyalty, and the magic that happens when a pet becomes family.